Alright, so the winner of last time's giveaway is literally no one. No one left a comment, not a single person. So, I mean, if you don't want a free game, what can I do? So if you actually do want a free game, just, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. That's all you gotta do. That's all I'm asking. So, I bet you're wondering, what are we gonna talk about today? What game did he pull out of his ass today? Well, it's a good one. It's TheHunter, Breath of the Wild. No, it's TheHunter Call of the Wild. It's not Breath of the Wild. But it's basically the same game, almost. Maybe a little. They both have open worlds. Now you might be wondering, how did you get to a game like this? Like, how does anyone get to a game like this? So today we're talking about TheHunter Call of the Wild. And you know what? I was surprised by this game. I didn't think much of this game. I was like, I'll give it a shot. It might be fun, kinda. I always kinda wanted to go hunting at some point. And you know what? It's not a bad game. It's actually pretty good. Now, TheHunter Call of the Wild is a hunting simulator. Who would have thought? And I think it's the perfect game for people that really want to go outside more because, nature and it's healthy and stuff, but they really don't want to because they're lazy. Like me. So, what do I think, or why do I think this game is worth talking about? In my opinion, the beauty of this game is the atmosphere. It's such a great immersing atmosphere. The graphics with the beautiful sound design of this game really makes you feel like you're sitting somewhere in the bush looking at some wild animals. This is one of the few games that really they immerse you almost like a VR game. And I played some VR games because, I have a VR headset, so why not play them? I mean, I haven't played them in years by now, but whatever. I have a headset, so technically I know what VR looks like. And this game really gets pretty close to the immersion level. So let's talk about the gameplay. What does this game actually have to offer? You might be thinking, it seems pretty easy. You're just a guy with a rifle and a binocular, and you're walking around shooting animals. How hard can it be, right? Well, let me tell you, it's hard. I mean, I've never been hunting in my life, but that's exactly how I imagine it. You make a step and everything in a radius fucking 500 miles hears you exactly and runs away another 500 miles. So you're basically alone in the forest because, you're just too loud. Everything just runs away. And that's how I felt in this game because fuck, animals are fucking great at hearing stuff and seeing stuff. But you know what we humans are great at? Building stuff. We can build rifles that shoot a mile or so. I don't know how far rifles can actually shoot, but they can shoot pretty far enough that you can actually sneak up on an animal without it running away. Granted, it takes 10 minutes crawling through the dirt, which is, it's enough for everybody. Definitely kind of boring at some point. But if you have nothing better to do and you just want to chill and crawl around in some dirt, hunt some animals, just immerse yourself in the beautiful landscape and sound design of this game. It feels pretty cool. I mean, you feel pretty fucking cool when you crawl through the mud and you finally get close enough to an animal that you can actually shoot it without it just running away without getting hurt. Because, my aim isn't great. I'll be the first to admit. My aim, that's why I don't play a lot of FPS. Because I'm just kind of shit. But in this game, you can take all the time in the world, basically. You just can't be too loud, because otherwise you're alone again. So the main gameplay loop of this game is basically you find some tracks, or you hear an animal scream somewhere in the distance, and you walk into that direction. If you're really careful, you might even see an animal at some point. And if you see said animal, you might even be able to shoot it. But if you miss, it's gonna be, the chances are pretty high that it's just gonna be gone for good. But if you do hit it, and it might not be lethal, that's okay, but it's bleeding, so you can track it. I mean, you can track animal footprints, what's it called? Trails, and follow it like that, which is a way to do it. I'm not a huge fan of it because I don't think I've found a single animal like that. It always feels like they're just miles away when I see the first couple footprints. So it's why even bother? It's gonna be gone by the time I'm even close. But that's fine, because eventually you're gonna find an animal. You're gonna see it. Then you're gonna sneak up to it. You're gonna crawl through the mud for half an hour just to get close enough. Then you mark it with your binoculars. You aim your shot and boom, you shoot it. And you missed and it ran away. That's how I feel most of the time in this game. But it doesn't even matter because I'm so immersed in the moment. That's the main reason why I even play this game, because it's like, I like this atmosphere. It's pretty cool. You feel like you're actually like sitting in the bush somewhere in Africa, crawling through the mud, seeing some antelope run away because you were just, I don't know, stepping on a goddamn twig and it cracked and now the animal is gone. But that's okay, because there's much more animals. Speaking of Africa, let's talk about the maps for a while. There's a couple different maps. For example, there's a map in Germany where you can hunt deer, for example, and wolves and other stuff. There's a map in Africa, for example. There's a couple different maps. I don't think I've played all of them, but there's a couple different maps with different biomes and different animals, of course. But yeah, you basically always start with a rifle, binoculars, and maybe sometimes like a duck noise thingy, where you can make duck noises, because why not, right? That never worked out for me, by the way. Not a single time did I find a duck that came to me just because I did the duck thing. But yeah, basically the goal of the game is you track an animal, you see it, you shoot it, and you get a trophy. Or don't if you miss, you know, as usual. But this is really a game where if you don't have time for the game, and if you don't have time to really get into it and like immerse yourself with it, you have to allow it to immerse you. It's not a game you hop on and like, play for 10 minutes and you're having fun. Not really. You have to like commit to it. You have to play it for half an hour at least, and then you're getting into it. You're feeling it, you know what I mean? You're feeling like you're in nature, like tracking down fucking ducks, you know? Because who doesn't like tracking down ducks, you know? I like it. That's a great favorite hobby of mine. But yeah, in my opinion, I think this game really is kind of the closest thing you can get to the real hunting experience. And of course, I've never been hunting. I don't know what it feels like. But that's exactly how I imagine it to feel like, going hunting. But it's not just a dry simulator. There's a lot more to it. There's a skill tree. You can skill stuff and make it better. It's not a huge skill tree though, so I'm not gonna really get into it. But there's also perks. There's a perk tree, which is also not that big. Not that big, honestly. But it's okay, it's there. You know, it's there. It's better than not being there. You can unlock new weapons and new things that make animal sounds. New scopes, of course, for like your rifle. Probably new binoculars as well. But honestly, this game is not a game you play for the progression. At least not me, because there's not much progression. But it's there. There's a little bit, which is nice for people who really like progression. But I think this game is really just for people who want to relax and take in the landscape and just really get into it. You know, it's kind of hard to explain through a video because you really kind of have to play it to get what I mean. Once you're in there and you see the sunset and you're walking through the grass, hearing distant noises of animals and birds, it's a really nice experience. It's pretty zen, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you don't see yourself in a game like that, then that's probably not a game for you. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? It's not a really action-packed game or anything. Of course, there's some action every now and then when you find an animal and track it down and try to shoot it. But it's mostly just walking through landscapes, looking at the beautiful scenery, trying to find some animals, you know? Kinda cool. I really kinda like it. It's a good game to just relax and calm down a bit. Forget about the stress of real life and just go hunting for a little bit. You know, I like that. And there's also a multiplayer mode. It's just the same as not multiplayer mode, just with more people, you know. It's a server. You can make a server or you can join a server and then you can play with strangers on the internet, which is always fun, isn't it? I played it once and literally no one interacted with anyone else, so I don't think it's like that great. But if you have a friend to play this with, I bet it's a lot of fun. I sadly don't have friends who want to hunt with me, but maybe you do. Maybe you have a friend or two which you can play this game with, and that would be a lot of fun, I imagine. I can't tell for sure because I don't have any friends, but I'm pretty sure it's fun, as most games that you can play with friends is more fun with friends than without friends. Kinda stating the obvious here. So yeah, this video has been dragging on for way too long already. I've been having way too much fun with this video, to be honest. So I'm gonna end it here, because I think I said everything I could. It's a good game for people who look for a chilled, relaxed game. Not really a great game for people who want action and, you know, more like arcade games, because this is more of a simulator. This is definitely more of a simulator than an arcade game. But if you know that, and if you like relaxing in a virtual landscape, then this game can really give you that. It can really give you like kind of like the hunting experience, as I imagine it. So yeah, go ahead and get it if you want to. I mean, it's kind of expensive. There's always piracy, you know, I'm not saying you should go pirate it, but yeah, it's an option. But anyways, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to, like, you know, subscribe and leave a comment for the chance of winning a game. Last week, nobody did that. So, hey, you know, that's your chance. See you later.